Stone Age, which was 2.5 million to 5,000 years ago, human communities took shape.
Liar!
Most humans were nomadic hunters and gatherers.
Animism was a common religious belief of early humans. This was the belief that spirits lived in all living things.
The key features of civilizations are cities,
Organized government,
complex religions,
social classes,
arts and architecture,
writing,
status of women diminished in agricultural society.
Cultural diffusion is the spread of ideas, customs, and technologies from one people to another. This occurred through migration, trade, and warfare. 5,000 years ago, the first civilizations emerged. One of the first civilizations to emerge was Mesopotamia, in between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in modern-day Iraq. Knowledge of irrigation led them to create cities, such as Ur and Babylon. Mesopotamia was originally organized into separate city-states. However, under the Akkadian Emperor Sargon, they were united. The Mesopotamians developed the first form of writing, cuneiform. They were polytheistic and built ziggurats to honor their gods. The Babylonian king Hammurabi is remembered today for his law code. In Hammurabi's code, punishments were harsh. The law of retaliation was used. This concept of a set of rules to govern society would impact later civilizations. The Assyrians conquered Mesopotamia with their powerful army and their horse-drawn chariots.
In Egypt, women were responsible for handling household finances and educating children, had the right to divorce, own property, manage a business, and become a priestess. A powerful female was Pharaoh Hatshepsut.
The Middle Kingdom lasted from 2080 to 1640 BCE. Under strong pharaohs, they began expansion and improved trade and transportation. They were conquered by the Hyksos. The New Kingdom of Egypt lasted from 1570 to 1075 BCE. It was the most prosperous period of Egypt. New weapons learned from the Hyksos allowed them to expand even farther. Two significant pharaohs were Hatshepsut, the first female pharaoh, and Ramses II, the last great pharaoh. The New Kingdom declined after his rule.
The system was polytheistic and it was based on the concept of life after death. Achievements included written language called hieroglyphs, papermaking, field irrigation, bronze tools and weapons, and the 365-day calendar. The worshipping of the dead led to the building of tombs and pyramids, and also mummification. The Shang dynasty lasted from 1750 to 1027 BCE. They built lavish tombs for emperors and practiced ancestor worship and used oracle bones to tell the future. They produced silk, which eventually became a high-demand luxury product.
The Zhou dynasty overthrew the Shang. They lasted from 1046 to 256 BCE. They used the mandate of heaven to justify their takeover. The mandate of heaven states that a ruler has a duty to maintain order and justice. As long as he does his job, he will remain in power. If he fails, the mandate of heaven will be bestowed upon a more deserving candidate.
Their achievements included coined money, which made trade easier, and iron tools and weapons.
Woo! The time of the warring states for China was when many independent states adopted legalist philosophies as a basis for their rule. The development of three significant schools of thought, Confucianism, legalism, and Taoism. This period is also referred to as the 100 Schools of Thought. Legalism was based on the goal of expanding and strengthening the state at all costs. It is described as ruthless and efficient. Strict laws with harsh punishments lessened the number and severity of the crimes. It was used by the Qin dynasty, led by Shi Huangdi, to end warring states period.
Taoism came up with an alternative solution to the end of warring states period, contrary to the Confucian beliefs. Central concept of Tao was the way or the way of nature. Humans should stop trying to achieve personal goals and live very simply in order to achieve the harmony of nature. Ideal societal structure would consist of tiny, self-sufficient
Confucius lived in China during the warring states period and sought to restore order to China. Students report his teachings in Analects. Believed in the 5 constant relationships and that each person in the relationship had a responsibility to the other. One was superior and the other inferior. According to Confucianism, the best way to promote good government is to hire people who are well educated and conscientious. Learning was important, but Confucius also stressed the importance of moral integrity and fair judgment.
Claiming the mandate of heaven, Liu Bang took over the Qin and established the longest-lasting Chinese dynasty, the Han, from 206 BCE to 220 CE. The emperors of the Han ruled from Chang'an. Han Wudi ruled from 141 to 87 BCE and centralized the government, expanded the empire, and established an imperial university. Demand for Chinese silk in India, Persia, Mesopotamia, and the Roman Empire led to the development of the Silk Road.
The Han temporarily lost power from 923 CE, and the later Han lasted from 25 to 220 CE. The capital moved to... Okay. The government ignored the problem of inequitable land distribution, leading to rebellion. The Yellow Turban Uprising, though suppressed, weakened the dynasty. This, along with outside pressure from Xingyu raiders and the smallpox epidemic, led to the downfall of the Han dynasty.
I'm in my Tao with my lateen, sail, and my stern post rudder, along with my magnetic compass.
The Jews established the first true monotheistic religion. In 2000 BCE, Abraham established a covenant with God. He and his family migrated to Palestine and established the first Israelite nation. However, drought and famine forced the Hebrews to migrate to Egypt, where they were enslaved. The Exodus was in 13,000 BCE when Moses led the Hebrews out of Egypt. Moses was given the 10 Commandments, which was the basis for civil and religious laws. 12 Hebrew tribes wandered the deserts for many years and eventually returned to Palestine. In 1020 BCE, the Hebrews united under the strongest tribe of Judah, with Saul as their king. This led to 100 years of peace and prosperity. David and Solomon were important leaders during this time. King Nebuchadnezzar captured Judah and destroyed the temple. He enslaved the Hebrews in Babylon. In 539 BCE, King Cyrus of the Persians conquered the Babylonians and set 400,000 of Aryans were Indo-European nomads who migrated south around 15,000 BCE and established small communities in northern India. They developed a complex caste system formed around skin color, which severely limited social mobility.
I am the priest. I am the warrior.
I am the merchant.
And I am the servant.
The Aryans also recorded literary and religious works, which are known as the Vedas, a collection of songs, hymns, and prayers honoring their gods. The Vedas became the primary text of Hinduism.
Hinduism is the world's oldest organized religion and originated in India. It spoke to the needs and interests of average people. Salvation is achieved by individuals who meet responsibilities by obeying laws of their caste. A person is reincarnated on the basis of behavior into one of four castes. The Mauryan dynasty flourished during the late 320s BCE, when Chandragupta Maurya took over and laid the foundations for a centralized, unified government that included all of India from the Indus to Ganges rivers. Ashoka ruled the kingdom of Kalinga through bloody battles, united the entire subcontinent. He built irrigation systems for agriculture, constructed roads for trade and travel, supported Buddhism, and encouraged religious tolerance. Ashoka's death led to the decline of the empire.
The Gupta dynasty was founded by Chandragupta. The government, both policy and administration, was left to the locals. Gupta did not impose uniform laws, he brought stability and prosperity. Decline was caused by invasions by the White Huns, and the dynasty continued in name only.
About 537 BCE, Siddhartha Gautama left his family to live as a holy man. After meditating 49 days under the Bo tree, he said he understood the problem of suffering and how to eliminate it, and became the Buddha, or enlightened one.
I'm the tree.
Cultural diffusion was responsible for the spread of Buddhist ideas. In Japan, this developed into Zen Buddhism. In China, Mahayana Buddhism. In northern India, Theravedic Buddhism.
The Phoenicians were seafaring traders who lived between the eastern Mediterranean Sea and Lebanon. They developed a writing system of 22 symbols, representing sounds. This alphabet spread throughout the region as they traded. The Latin alphabet eventually emerged out of this Phoenician dialect.
Hey, Zawin Wah, hey! Daleth Gimel Beth